this is such distressing news. I want you to take us away from the headlines and the obligatory TV video of airplanes flying around. What do military people think about the idea our planes are diverted because they're within 20 nautical miles of a Russian jet?
Yeah, and Tom, in addition, we had our drones. These are big aircraft, these Predator drones. They're 50-foot wingspan, intercepted by Russian aircraft. So we've got a mix-up between Russian fighters, military U.S. drones, now our planes on planes, and at the same time, Russian missiles are flying from the Caspian Sea.
Airspace, though, Admiral? Who decides who gets to fly in what route and what direction?
Absolutely nobody controls the airspace. This is the Wild West.
Okay, I want to get into this, Vonnie. Your question's dead on. You do ads, the military does ads between football games to get kids to join the military.
We do.
They always show the razzle-dazzle guy on the boat. He's 19 years old. He's got the headphones on, and he's controlling big, important things.
Yeah.
Do we have a kid in the Mediterranean controlling the airspace that we're in, and the Russians have somebody in the Caspian Sea doing the same thing, and are they talking to each other?
Yes to all, except are they talking to each other? They are not talking to each other. The Russians also have controllers in Lebanon and on ships in the Mediterranean, on a ship right next to that U.S. ship where the control is going from. It's a huge furball. There is no control.
Right now, is Vladimir Putin playing two sides?
He absolutely is. And, you know, kind of what's going on, we see Vladimir Putin all the time taking off his shirt. This is kind of the equivalent of that. He's launching missiles. He's got aircraft going. He's got tanks moving in.
But he says he wants to coordinate plans with the U.S., and then he also says he's attacking rebels, but he's also propping up Assad. How can that all be true?
It's disingenuous. What he's doing, Vonnie, is supporting Assad the same way he's supporting the rebels in Ukraine. When he says he's going after the Islamic State, I don't think anybody seriously believes that.
What will be our response? And we have so much to talk about in this hour with you about these events. How do we respond to this? Ash Carter, our Secretary of Defense, tragically flawed was his phrase yesterday.
We've got to prioritize. I think we need to go after the Islamic State, high, hard, military.
Boots on the ground?
I think so. Not 150,000, but we probably need 10,000 to 15,000 to do the special forces, do the forward air control, and really push this bombing campaign
forward. Should we put some of those troops in Damascus? Let's review the map. East of Israel is Damascus. We sort of know it from Lawrence of Arabia. North of there is where Assad's from. On the coast is where the Russian troops are, and then the Islamic State is distant to the east. Where do you put our boots on the ground?
This will sound somewhat odd to you, but not in Syria at this point. They should be in Iraq, because this, from a U.S. perspective, is initially going to be a bombing campaign. Ultimately, our special forces will need to go into Syria, but not certainly into Damascus.
Vonnie, the most important article today, Patrick Lyons, buried in the New York Times, A-11, Russia puts new weapon into play. They send a cruise missile 900 miles. This isn't the Falkland Wars. This is not an Exocet missile, is it?
Not at all. This is a missile that we have used many times. You've heard of it. It's the Tomahawk missile. Sometimes we jokingly refer to the Russian variant as the Tomahawk ski. And it is a very capable weapon, as we've seen. It goes about 900 miles. Our missile goes about 1,500 miles. Ours probably has better accuracy. But this is a very capable weapon and launched from the Caspian Sea. And
900 miles.
900 miles.
I had to get the map out. Stavridis has this tattooed to his brain.
What's NATO's priority here?
NATO has to support its NATO ally in the region, which is Turkey. And you're seeing a meeting this week in Brussels of all the defense ministers, including Ash Carter. One thing on the table will be, how do we support Turkey?
We will have so much on us through the hour. How is this linked to Ukraine? That seems to be the other theme this morning.
Yeah, in a strange way, what Putin is playing here is trying to convince the West that he wants to be part of taking on the Islamic State. He'll then go to the Europeans and say, look, I'm playing nicely with you against the Islamic State. Can we now lift the sanctions in Ukraine? It's a strategy that won't work because it's transparently false.